Hi, my name is Alicia Bay, and my presentation is on the Taj Mahal, who built it and why, and what it does, what it tells us about the power and influence of the Mughals. The location is on the Yamuna River in Agra, India, and it is interesting because it should have been in Delhi, which was the more popular, but Shah Jahan, who was the creator, actually preferred Agra over Delhi. It started construction in 1632. And it is an enormous mausoleum complex. It was built with white marble inlaid with semi-precious stones in a process called pietra dura, which is pretty interesting, and there's a description on the side if you are so inclined to look at it. The central dome of the building actually reaches a height of 240 feet and has four smaller domes surrounding it and four slender towers that stand in the corners. All throughout the entrances of the mausoleum, there are verses of the Quran and in other places on the complex. There is also a cenotaph in the middle of it and in an octagonal marble chamber. Why and who built it? And that would be Shah Jahan. He ascended the throne in 1628 and was beloved throughout his reign. He was responsible for so many architectural wonders. He created the Red Fort, which ended up being more the capital, but nothing more amazing than the Taj Mahal. And why was it built? It was sad reason, actually. The work on the Taj Mahal, it started in 1632 after the death of his beloved wife. Her name was Queen Arjaman Banu Begum, but was known as Mumtaz Mahal. This mausoleum was supposed to house her body, so that is where the name came from. It actually took 20 years for it to be completed, and her final resting place is actually at the garden level. The Mughal Empire did many things for India. India was composed of quite a few smaller kingdoms, so they centralized the government and brought them all together in a unified way that India had never seen before. Um, there's 2 points: human rights, respect for human rights, and religious tolerance was big at this time, especially with Shah Jahan. And that is because the Mughals were Muslim, yet India was mostly comprised of Hindi. So the Muslim, they were not the same. And so the Mughals were very tolerant and let them practice their religion in the ways that they needed to. They were able to have government positions and things like that. And they had buildings and temples all throughout India. They also brought Persian art and culture to India. At the time, it was marked as the apex of the Mughal Empire. Not necessarily the biggest, the greatest, the grandest, just I think, the golden age of the Mughal Empire. And that included the Taj Mahal. It symbolized their stability, their power, and their confidence. It also symbolized love between two people. It was built out of love, and it was rumored that Mumtaz Mahal was his favorite queen. The tides turn a little in 1958. Shah Jahan became deathly ill, and his sons were convinced he would pass away. So they entered a brutal competition for the crown. There was really only two that were actual real competitors, and it was Aurangzeb ended up being the victor. But he did that by killing his older brother and imprisoning his father in the Red Fort, his own creation. He rose the Mughal Empire to its greatest size and also the most powerful military at the time, but it was very unstable. And he was very religious. So the religious tolerance that we had previously had seen in there was completely gone. He started putting restrictions, and any Hindus were not allowed to be in government. They were barely allowed to have jobs, and they were treated very, very poorly. He destroyed many of their temples and buildings, and it was not a great period for the Hindi people. And it was the ultimate end of the Mughal Empire, or at least it led to it. We have a few facts that are interesting. The Jahan spent out the rest of his days in house arrest in the Red Fort, and from his bedroom window he could clearly see the Taj Mahal, where his beloved was housed. And when he passed away in 1666, he was put alongside her in the Taj Mahal. And in a very morbid rumor, it was also said that Shah Jahan had the hands of the designers cut off so they could never replicate the artifice. Well, and that's it, guys. Thanks so much for listening.